Look, 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 look what we've just found. Tiny, tiny baby dwarf mongoose. They probably only just started venturing out of the safety of the burrow with their adults. And this is such a perfect time. You never get to see this. Oh, this is too special for words. Oh, little ones. The smallest of the carnivores that we get out here. Oh, he was so cute. And to see the babies is a very special sighting indeed, especially this young. I'm making a sort of a generic squeak that mongoose often respond to just because they're very bright and very curious. And just like that, that's probably the... Oh no, there's another little one. It'll come through into sight in a moment. These babies are so tiny, they would fit into the palm of my hand. The dwarf mongoose, the adult dwarf mongoose, is probably about half the size of my forearm and only a couple of grams. But the babies, oh my goodness. Wait. Oh, where's this little baby gone now? And as I said, it is really unusual to see baby dwarf mongoose. And you know what's amazing? This is the same group. There it is. It's just popped out now. There we go. Hi, little one. It's not much bigger than a hamster. In fact, it is. It's hamster size. It's a big hamster size. And back in. That's why we had to rush you across, because you never get to see them, and they only come out in the morning in the sort of first initial stages of their adventures away from the burrow, so that they can be groomed by mom, so that they can be suckled. Oh, this is special. Let's go over to Byron and see what he's got.
Look what we found, everyone. Remember I said having a look at termite mounds, and that is crucial at the moment. You might get...
Amazing. I think we might be witness to one of the first forays of these little baby dwarf mongoose into the open. And the poor adults are rushing around like mad things trying to collect them. And every time they grab one and put it back in the hole, another one comes dashing out. There we go. She's carrying it back to the hole now. She's got one. She's carrying it back. And now she's going to drop it in. And then as soon as she turns her back, they come running out again. Oh, these poor parents. Of course, the whole family of dwarf mongoose is devoted to looking after these babies. And so only the alpha pair will breed, and the rest of the... Look, see, escapee. And it's out again. Oh, not quite brave enough. I think it's going to go back. There it is. Oh, this is such a big, wide, and exciting world. And there's at least 4 of them that are roughly the size of hamsters. Here we go. They're going to be collected. Oh, no, now there's another one escaping. Oh, dear. You've got to have eyes in the back of your head if you're a mongoose. Oopsie. Oh, dear. Someone took a tumble. Oh my goodness. You know what? I shouldn't have favorites, but you won't believe this. This is the same mongoose family that we saw so long ago with the cobra that had... I'm sorry, I have to laugh. It's just too cute. That the cobra that had come slithering through, and we watched them for ages as the adults transferred the young. And Mind Warp, you apparently were talking about the time we saw them. They were carrying their babies from one spot to another. It was truly one of the most extraordinary dwarf mongoose sightings I have had to date. Mind Warp, this is the same group. I know because they live. This is exactly where that sighting was. So almost with certainty, I'll tell you that it's exactly the same family of mongoose. How cool is that? These are the smallest baby dwarf mongoose I have ever seen. The whole world is so exciting. They're like little kittens almost, exploring their world. oh, this is too special. This is not a sight that you see every day. And just a reminder to our new viewers, there are another one's going in, all going in. This is live, so it is all happening right here and right now. And we've got a collection of baby mongoose jumping around and playing. It is extraordinary. And if you do have any questions that you would like to ask, you could send those through on #SafariLive on Twitter, or you can email through to questions@WildEarth.tv. I'm just trying to think. Sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to think of the name for a baby dwarf mongoose. We discussed it not too long ago, and I can't remember. Did we decide it was a pup, or was it a kit? It's not a kit, it's a pup, I think. Dwarf mongoose pups. I mean, these are relatively arbitrary terms that are applied, but they do have official names. I'm just trying to remember. Oh, it's because the baby mongoose have turned my brains into mush. Promise you, I've never seen anything like this. It's so early for them to be out. And I really think this might be one of their first explorations. Oh, you're getting so brave. Some of them have run right away from the burrow. Some of them not so brave. Others are almost invisible now. If you go in a little bit, Gert, you should see one there just off to the... There we go, the adult's going to fetch it. And back. Oh, these poor adults. You know what? I think there might be, maybe I'm crazy, but I keep seeing one that looks slightly larger than the others, which is quite unusual. Are they suckling now? No. I thought for a second perhaps Mom had come to feed them. It would be very unusual to see 2 generations of babies, all rushing around. These poor adults have got their work cut out for them. It's worse than herding wet cats. All the while being watched by a hornbill. It's watching the comings and goings with a very stately air. Oh, got you. And back to the burrow, back to the burrow, back to the burrow with you. Go back home. And stay home. But now... the adult's got its work cut out for it again, because there's still one that's left out. So as soon as she leaves it, the others are going to escape again. Sorry, Rebecca, I was so distracted by what was happening in front of me, I didn't even hear the question. Ferrati wanted to know what the dwarf mongoose feed on. They feed on insects. They're mainly insectivorous. They can also catch things like reptiles. Sometimes they feed off frogs, amphibians. And we only get dashing across. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. I can't stop watching them. Okay, I think all of the babies have been netted. That's a teenager, so that's probably one from a previous litter. I think that's why I was seeing a larger one. Our dwarf mongoose are carnivores that are particularly specialized. They're very good at catching and killing scorpions, and they're very good at digging them out as well. They've got long, fierce claws and razor-sharp little teeth, and I promise you the teeth are razor-sharp. I know because I've been bitten by one. They are razor-sharp. And off we go, and I think... No, I'm not even going to do that because I feel too guilty for the poor parents. They've just managed to get the kids to bed. Let's not wake them up again. That was awesome. The adults have finally managed to gather all the little ones, get them into the hole, stay in the hole. Aaron, I remember looking this up the last time we had a baby dwarf mongoose sighting. I'm trying to remember what the gestation period is. I know that they have on average, they have between 2 to 6 babies each time, and that by around about 8 months they are fully mature, and in fact I think they're actually sexually mature by around 8 months old. The gestation period is, I think it's just a couple of weeks, Round about 3. I'll double check in a second and just remind myself exactly what it was. It's a short gestation period, which means that the female can often have several litters in 1 year. Several litters of, I think it's pups. Several litters of pups. Oh, that was incredible. And did you see how all animals do this? And I'm not sure whether or not you noticed. Now, I've had friends in the past that have, there we go. It's just over 4 weeks. Okay, it's just over 4 weeks. 49 to 53 days is the gestation period of the dwarf mongoose. But what was fascinating about that is the natural reflex that all baby animals out here show. When you grab them by the back of the neck and you lift them up, not that I would advise going around grabbing things by the back of the neck and lifting them up, but when the parents do, the babies tuck, curl, and go completely limp. They don't fight. They don't struggle, they just know, and that's lion cubs, leopard cubs, baby mongoose. I have seen baby wildcat kittens before. Wildcat kittens, let's not be superfluous here. I've seen wildcat kittens before, and I've been able to be part of their rehabilitation, picking them up, grabbing them by the loose skin on the back of the neck, because when they are utterly chaotic and you're trying to gather them together, the only way to get them to relax is to lift them up by the back loose patch of skin, and they just do this. They could have been tearing around with teeth and claws, but as soon as you pick them up there, they just do that. It's incredibly instinctive. Cool. That was so much fun. I think unfortunately they're gone. Anna Marie, I have, as I said, these are the first baby dwarf mongoose I've never seen a dwarf mongoose this young. You wanted to know whether or not they are born with teeth, because of course hyena cubs are, and certain animals are not. My suspicion is no, that they will erupt within a couple of days, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll have to try and find out for you, Anna Marie. Or perhaps actually I can ask you guys if baby dwarf mongoose are born with fully erupted teeth or if they erupt after a couple of days. That was awesome. We might not have found Karula just yet, but we did find something really cool. And speaking of really cool things and really cool people, let's go back.